What's going on, guys? It's Uncle Dallas. We are here. We are live. We are we are available. It's Monday. It's Monday, and today we're going to stick with where we are in getting these things started for our organization and getting these things started for our life. So, welcome to our new world. We're going to give people a couple of minutes to get in. So, good morning to you. Hope you're going to have a wonderful day. I believe God's going to do some amazing things for you and some things in your life. So, I thank you very much for following us. It is a privilege for me to know you guys are going to come and join me for this thing. So, today we're going to stay on the same subject, the power to change your mind. I'm Uncle Dallas. This is the Higher Standards Organization. Let's get started. Again, this is Uncle Dallas. This is Higher Standards Organization. Today I want to stay on the same subject of the power of changing your mind. Today I'm going to talk more than I'm going to actually pass it. Sunday I talked about it a little bit more. If you want to get that, it's a little bit earlier. It's on there. The power of changing your mind. If you are on Instagram, tell somebody, like somebody. If you're on TikTok, tell somebody. Share this with somebody, because we're going to deal with some of the issues. If we bring the mic closer now, we're going to deal with some of the issues that people have dealt with when it comes to not changing your mind. A number of you have these notes. You have these notes. These are from Sunday. If you take these notes, see, the notes are so you can study and kind of deal with it. So take your notes and go through your notes and listen to them, read them, and get that stuff in your spirit. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, TikTok, for also joining us today. Thank you, Facebook, for being a part of us. I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate you guys for joining us. I always believe that this is going to share and change your life. So share it with somebody. All right? Share it with somebody. Okay. So now, to go a little deeper in this subject. Now, I'm not going to go back to what happened yesterday. This is kind of part two, the power of change your mind, part two. Okay, so let's look at something that I said. I think it's 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. That was where we kind of, those of you that were there. 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. All right, 2 Corinthians. That's 1 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. I'm going to learn to read. When I grow up, I'm going to learn to read. I'm going to be a big boy, mommy. I'm going to have a book, and I'm going to read it and everything. Okay, 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter will be pretty much the only passage we're going to talk about, because we're going to go into this thing to help you with your everyday movement, your everyday challenges, and your everyday changes. So if you have a Bible, I do advise everybody to make sure you have something that you can follow these passages on. Okay? All right. So, 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, we're going to go down. We were staying at the 4th, 5th, and the 6th verse. The first says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God, through the pulling down of strongholds." Now, that's pretty much the extent of where we're going to concentrate on this passage for a little bit of time. And the reason we're going to concentrate on this passage for a little bit of time is because I want you guys to really stick with me on this one. I need to really stick with me on this one. So it says, we wrestle. Now it says, for the weapons of our warfare, and that's 2 Corinthians, if you those 2 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 10 and 5 is what we're going to eventually go to. But 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, and the 4th verse is what we're dealing with right now. So let's go to the 4th verse. All right. So in the 4th verse, it says, for the weapons. Now, what you need to understand is that you are in a battle. You are in a battle. So let's do this. Got it. All right, let's do this. Those of you that are on YouTube, you can see this. Those of you that are on TikTok, you're not going to be able to see this. But if you want to see it, you can go in and see it at a different level. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Okay. Now let's back up. Here we go. This is the only time I'm doing this, so don't trip. Okay. Now this is the passage right here. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Let's look at carnal first. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. It says they are not fleshly, they are not carnal, they have the natural, that carnal is the nature of the flesh under the control of animals' appetite. They're not governed by mere humans, they're governed by the Spirit. Everybody got that? Everybody got that? So, the weapons of your warfare are not carnal. Got that? Now, we got that, and I need y'all to stay with me there, and now let's talk. Okay, let's talk. Most of the people that I deal with on this platform, I have a number of other platforms. Most of the people I deal with on this platform have had a bad relationship. And so when you understand that they've had a bad relationship, what you find is in that relationship, there were decisions that were made, and those decisions that were made would determine the direction of this particular situation. For example, it says the weapons of your warfare are not carnal. Now, when you utilize the word warfare, you guys think that we're talking about a battle or a fight or wars. We see wars and rumors of wars, and you see we're against Russia. That's not what we're talking about. This warfare is the battle to maintain a spiritual position. I know it sounds Bible and sounds deep, but this warfare is the battle to maintain a spiritual position. Somebody write that down. A battle to maintain a spiritual position. So here's what happened to you. Here's what happened to a lot of us. Here's what happened to me. We connect to people on the mental level and on the physical level. So we never maintain the battle. We never maintain the battle of the spirit. So we never maintain a spiritual balance. So now what happens is we get into the relationship because we are spirit. We then look at this situation and go, why does he treat me like this? Why does she treat me like that? Because we've established it on carnality. We've established it on our mind. We've established it on what we feel. And he was sexy. And what media has told us is great. We've established it on the fact that she had on a bikini on this platform. And she had on nothing. And we're looking at it as men and we're looking at it as women. We've never established the battle that took place. We kind of flowed into a battle, but we never fought. You're establishing a spiritual position. So he was nice to you. He was sweet to you. He was kind to you. And what he was an addressing of an issue that you felt like you had. But here's what was funny about that. So all of a sudden, when you get into this particular relationship, sorry about that. When you get into this particular relationship, what happens is this. Now you want spiritual attributes in a relationship that was not based on the spirit. You want spiritual attributes on a relationship that was not based on the spirit. So here's what takes place. So now you are walking around going, how come he doesn't respect me? Spiritual attribute. How come he doesn't take care of the kids? Spiritual attribute. How come he doesn't do these things? You were never looking for the spiritual attributes, and you were never in the battle to maintain a spiritual position. And because you didn't maintain a spiritual position, he did all kind of stuff. He did all kind of crazy stuff. She did all kind of crazy stuff. And you go, what am I supposed to do about that? What you do now is move yourself out of just flowing where they tell you to flow and start flowing into positions of authority. Yeah, positions of authority. So he says now, it's not, the weapons of your warfare are not carnal. So this is not carnally what she did or carnally what he did. It's, do you have the battle records or the battle of the spirit? Are you praying about them? Now, I know we say, oh, I don't, you know what? I'm not even going down that road. I don't have time to go down that road. Are you praying about it? Are you in some kind of meditation to make sure you are okay? Are you working the spiritual weapon? Are you working your spiritual weapon? Ladies, it's more important than anybody else that you work your spiritual weapon. Your physical weapon will get old. I don't care whether it's sex, whether it's how you talk to him, whether it's how you think, whether you treat him and you try to do little sneaky things to get him to think like you think, it's going to get old. But your spiritual weapon will make sure it is renewed day by day. So what weapons are you using, and are you using your weapons to win? Or are you using the weapons to prove that you were right? Are you using your weapons to show everybody that you were right? Are you using your weapons to prove that the person that hurt you before, that person now has to see how good your life turned out? Why? Because you've gathered all this information, and the weapons of your warfare, they are there to pull down strongholds, but you are walking right along with the strongholds. Brother, dude, are you using your weapons to create a path that others can follow, or are you using your weapon to see how many sisters you can get, how many honeys you can get? Are you using your weapon to show your sexy body so that you can engage women and then trap them into something that's simply physical because there's no other structure to it? Are you using your weapons correctly? Why? Because your mind has to be changed to what's most beneficial to your life. Your mind has to be changed to what's most beneficial in your life. Bruh, do you have a purpose? Do you have a plan? Have you taken the time to connect to God or your spirit or your energy or the force, whatever it is, have you decided to connect to it? Or are you simply going around defining yourself by the size of your shoulders and the swerve of your hips? Ladies, have you been defined by how well you look in a bikini, that you will spend time after time trying to make sure you fit into it or look at the way men look at you? And then when they look at you, do you kind of go, why is he looking at me? Well, because you spent every moment trying to get to look like people can look at you. They pump up the butts, decrease the butts. They do all these things because we are in a battle that is not a spiritual battle. It's a carnal battle. There's only one fight. That's spirit and flesh. There are no other fights. There are no other battles. There are no other challenges. If you deal with these two challenges, those two challenges will change your life. Well, he left me after 25 years. Hear me, please understand what I'm saying in the context that I'm saying it. We don't care. That person that left you, the pain is there, the brokenness is there, and those things you have to deal with. But what's the biggest thing? The person that you have to realize is when everything goes in your last day and you go on to be in heaven or whatever the situation may be in your particular life, they're not going to remember all your ex-husbands. They're not going to remember all your ex-wives. They're going to remember the person that was there through thick and thin and that gave your life meaning. When you meet the person that changes your life, they're not going to sit there. See, you keep looking at ex-wives and ex-husbands. I don't believe in ex-wives and ex-husbands. According to the Bible, I don't believe in ex-wives and ex-husbands. But I'll tell that another story. You're going to look at the people that hurt you. But when the last day comes, the moment that the person that you meet changes your life and your thinking changes, that person becomes a fleeting thought. People don't even know whether my wife was married or not. They just know that when she's with me, she's happy. People don't care about the fact that you had 17 husbands. Change your mindset about that. Okay, you made mistakes. You started young. It's okay. You'll be all right. People don't care about all the things that you did up until this point. You are the only one that remembers. Dismember. The opposite of dismember is remember. You're the only person that remembers that stuff. The people around you remember. If they want to remind you of what kind of person you were, not only are they not your friends, but they're the people that you don't want to be around. Now, to help you understand where you're going and reminding you, come on, sweetie, you know you're weak in that area. Let's move on. That's a different story. But to look at you and go, girl, you know, you don't, that ain't how, you like light-skinned men. You like dark-skinned men. And it reminds you, bruh, you remember your wife, because brothers don't do that as much as ladies do. Brothers don't do that as much as ladies do. Ladies will go, girl, girl, girl. Brothers will be like, man, you know what? Go to the next thing. But I have to get you to change your mindset. What happened in your past has no relevance to your present and does not do anything but your future but help you understand that you can make it through. So he said the weapons of your warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God. Now check this out. Let me help you out with this. It said, but mighty through God. Check this out, guys. Y'all follow me here. Mighty through God. Now, if you look at that passage closely, you realize it doesn't say mighty through God alone. It's saying mighty through God, which means that the access to pulling down the strongholds is the access that comes through God. Now, I'm gonna share something with you that's gonna help some of y'all. Some of y'all you'll need a moment to study it. You have already been equipped for a good relationship. Yeah, you are already equipped for a great relationship. You are equipped, ladies especially. And see, a lot of people are going to go, man, you keep talking about how ladies are doing this and how ladies are doing. Ladies especially, you are equipped to have everything you desire. You're equipped. Why? Your connection to God is a weapon. Your connection to God is a weapon. If you look at Genesis, when they start talking about the serpent, he said, her head will bruise your heel, her heel will bruise your head will bruise her heel. You are already in possession to win. You are already in the possession of everything necessary to win. Now, brothers, you are already in possession of everything to construct the wealth that you want. You can be the wealthiest man that you know. You already have it inside of you. What is taking place is where you are not battling, the enemy, the system is battling. So what you're having a challenge with, William Dallas is the same, is completing the things that will produce what God has for you. What you have a problem with is praying through it, because your battle, ladies, is emotion and spirituality. Those are where you are battled. You're going to be battled in your emotions. Why? Because your emotions and your spirit of God are equal. Your emotions speak just as loud as God. Your emotions lead just as much as God. Your emotions and your spirit are your battles. So what has to happen is you have to be emotionally attached to certain things in order to guide you away from them. If you detach emotionally from it, they don't have any power over you. Got it? Men, yours is structure. That means that what you are doing, you have what you can do and what God told you to do. That's your battle. A man's battle is what he can do and what God told him to do. So what he can do is build a house. So he has the power to build a house. So your battle is making you feel worthless, like you can't do anything. So what happens is the system has to tear you down like that. That's why you use words like deadbeat dad. That's why you see on every movie, my dad left when I was young. My dad left when I was young. Because your battle is the battle of worthiness. So they're battling your worthiness. Not only are you battling your worthiness, they're battling your ability to take on challenges. The weapons of your warfare are your ability to take on a challenge, to get bruised. So mama said, don't let him fall, he may hurt himself. Dad says, let him hurt himself so he won't fall. You have to realize that your mind has to change to the mind of victory. So now you go, the weapons of my warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God. So what did God give you for that battle? Y'all get that? What did God give you for that battle? He gave you life, health, strength, power, access. Life, health, strength, power, access. So now you have the ability to structure. Ladies, hear me very closely. Find something that you can do and pray it through. Don't get emotionally gathered to it. Don't get emotionally connected to it. Find something, pray it through. Now, hear me very closely, every lady that is listening to me. Every one of you that may come and listen to this later. Hear me very closely. You were not designed for labor. God knows that. God knows you were not designed for labor. Man was designed for labor. So that means that when you begin to pray something through, here we go. Write it, pray it, expect it. Write, pray, expect it. When you begin to pray something through, you have to pay attention, because there are things that God will tell you to do that cause other people to do what he called you to do. Got it? You are not called to labor. There is no justification in your ability to have labor. So be careful, because systems will tell you, girl, you got to do. Girl, you're supposed to do. Girl, no, you were never designed for labor. The challenge is, because you weren't designed for labor, people think you're not supposed to know. The most knowledgeable people on this planet should be women. Why? Because you have strength. Change your mindset. You are not designed to labor. Brother go, well, if I pay bills, you pay bills, it's 50-50. No, that's not 50-50. It's not 50-50. Now, I don't have a problem if it's 60-40. I don't have a problem if it's 70-30. But the bulk of what needs to take place comes from the person that does the covering. Bruh, here's your challenge. The weapons of your warfare are not carnal, but mighty through what you can build. Mighty through what you can build. So, when you begin to pray something, bruh, I need you, women, I need you to pray, write, pray, expect. Men, I need you to write, do, expect. We have to do something. Ladies, stop letting the man, stop stopping him from doing things. Stop putting him in a position where he's not doing. He has to pray, do, and expect. Ladies, pray, write, pray, expect. Men, write, do, expect. If you're at this level, bruh, you can go to this level. If you're at this level, you can go to this level. If you are making enough money for this, you can make enough money for this. See, too many times we get into these situations and we don't know how the structure works. So when he says the weapons of your warfare are not carnal in 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, you think that the weapons of your warfare are carnal, but they're not. The reason the relationship didn't work out, the reason the situation didn't work out is because you were in the wrong position. Stop carrying stuff that does not belong to you. Ladies, do not carry labor. I can open my own door. Yeah, I know you can, but you take away the person that's supposed to open your door. I can carry my own groceries. I know you can, but you take away the person that can carry your groceries. See, you are now wanting to have men, but you've not been designed to receive a man. You think every man that helps you wants to control you. You think every man around you wants to sleep with you. So you've not given room for men. And men, on the flip side, you've not tried to become men. You've tried to become something that is least path of resistance. Path of least resistance. Follow me. That means that you don't go if there's a woman sitting on a bus and stand up and sit down for her. See, because what you have to understand, these things were not to make you weak. What these things are to put you in a position where you're strong, to bring isolated positions to you to help you see who you are. When they start talking about etiquette and taking care of women, it wasn't so that women were weak. It was so that you could be in position of strength. God blesses your actions. Oh my God, can you hear me? So when you open the door for somebody in heaven, God opens the door for you. Don't check it out now. When you open the door for a woman, God's opening a door for you, because whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. When you when you take care of your wife, when you begin to say, I will cover my wife, then God will cover you. When you protect your wife, God will protect you. I've been trying to teach y'all this. So when that means that you say we live in a house, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, and we want a better house, God will give you instructions, man, on how to get there. The challenge that happened is woman wants to have influence. That's because the system was set up so she would feel like she had influence. You listen to her, but you follow God. You listen to her, but you follow God. This system is designed to disrupt the strength and the power that you were given godly. That's why it says the weapons of your warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. You have a stronghold. If that woman doesn't let you be man, she's not the one for you. I don't care if she is the finest thing on 2 feet. I don't care if she's so fine that when she passes you by, you pass out. She's not the one. Now, she may have to mature some, but she's not the one. Why? You have to maintain your level of power, not strength, of power. Why? Because that's how God deals with you. I can't let my wife pull me away from what God told me to do, because she then disrupts the power of God in my life. Because our power is by action. On the flip side, ladies, if he does not try to cover you, and not cover you by giving you something and then asking you for sex, he's not the one. Oh, but I love him so much. This is why the Bible says for the wife not to love the husband. It never tells her. Why? Because you have to find something and someone that you respect enough that you can follow without reservations. And you're not going to respect him if you can control him. We all know that. So let's stop pretending that I want him to be sensitive. You don't. Ladies, I'm going to tell the secret. Every woman wants a man that will make a decision, and no matter what she says, he sticks with his decision. She will call him stubborn. She will call him he don't listen. But if he makes decisions that make the life of the world better and makes the family better, that's what she wants. She wants a man to come to say, we're going to this restaurant, we're going to go here. She wants a man that says, I've already taken care of the vacation. You need to take days off of work. Well, I can't get a days off work. Then you need to quit, because we're going to Venezuela January 3rd through January 25th. But ladies, you can't control everything. Yes, you have made mistakes. And today, from today on, what is today? Today is the 16th. From the 16th on, you are now forgiven. I don't care if you slept with everybody on the East Coast. You're forgiven. I don't care if you got babies by 22 kids. You're forgiven. Today, you are forgiven. Today, you begin your battle in the spirit. And what you do is you write down what you want. You don't change it. Every thought process, let me help you. Every thought process that comes to you that is contrary to your destination, you stop it in its tracks. Every thought process that comes to you that is contrary to the destination God gave you, you stop it in its tracks. Every time it says, I can't do it, shut up, I can do it. Every time it says, we don't have enough money, say, yes, we do. You stop it. Your weapons of your warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. You are now on a path. That path is to pull down strongholds that have made you weak all these years. You've been weak for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And what most women have done is not most, what some women have done is they've resorted to their physical. So they begin to sculpt their physical to pull men out of their position so they can stop being taken care of by men, but they can control men. So Systems will let you show yourself in a bikini all day long. But let me say that Jesus, God, Spirit, power, energy, stop doing that to these men. They'll shut me down in a minute. But the weapons of your warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. Take that mess and stop it. Stop letting yourself ride down these rabbit holes of how it's going. Oh, girl, I remember last year. I don't care what happened last year. I don't care what your husband said. I don't care what your auntie said. I don't care what your mama said. I don't care what your daddy said. Why? They are all trying to bring down the power that's innately, the strength that's innately inside of you. So you forgetting those things which are behind and reach forth to those things which are before. Philippians, the second chapter, third chapter, second chapter, third chapter. Stop living in your weakness and your pitiful life. Oh, I'm just so hurt. I can't. Get yourself together. Women, depression has no power in your life. But what the enemy will do, and yes, there's an enemy, he will bombard you with situations that you can't control or situations that make you feel like you are insignificant so that he can bring depression to you. You don't have depression. You have God. And the funny thing is, the fullness of God is inside of you. Stop letting that happen. He said, stop it. Do not argue with your ex. Do not discuss with your ex. Go to God in prayer about your ex. Don't believe in ex? I'll tell you why later. Go to God in prayer about your boss. Ladies, go to God in prayer about the car. Now, when he begins to move you into your position, listen to me very closely. He's going to deal with the issues that make you stop. So the next time he says, go get a car, you'll go get a car. You'll stop saying, I need a man. You'll stop saying, I need this. I need God to give me instructions. I was talking to Jessica this morning, and while we were talking, I told her we need to move. We need a financial move in this organization. And Jessica being to write, as she began to write, we begin to pray. She prayed her way, I prayed my way. Why? Because I know my move is structure. So I cannot stop myself from doing what I know I need to do because I don't feel like it can be accomplished. My feelings have nothing to do with the ability to accomplish something. Where's my trusty ball? This ball, my ability, now look, check it out. Throw this ball up and catch this ball has nothing to do with my ability, how I feel. What I do when it comes to the ball, we used to do the thing in the arm, has nothing to do with my ability. What you can accomplish has nothing to do with how you feel. Has nothing to do with how you feel. Stop letting the actions that change your life be based on your feeling. Am I helping you? Does that make sense? It says, casting down imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. It says, casting down imagination. Now, it's the difference in casting down imagination and high imagination. Your mind has this wonderful capability to move you to another level. You have to get to a point that your mind is. See, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? I told you. I told you. I told you. TikTok is freezing. Didn't I tell you? I just said it, and TikTok's not freezing. Losing connection. I'm telling y'all. Y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think I'm joking. TikTok is trying to shut me down. I'm not joking. I'm sitting there looking at them now. They're trying to shut me down. The power you have is so amazing. So your imagination is very important. Your imagination is very important. Your imagination, it creates an image for anything that comes into your mind. Once it creates an image, it then gives that image reality. Your mind doesn't know the difference between a dream, a fantasy, reality, and not reality. So what you do is you begin to put into your mind the pictures that are reality, so the mind will reflect on those pictures to establish reality. Because that's all it is. All you have right now is your mind has established a bunch of pictures and images, and they've established that to be reality. And when that happens, I'm telling you, TikTok is freezing right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is freezing right now. When it takes that reality, and what it does to that reality, it makes you understand. It puts you in a position where what is reality and what is not reality. Does that make sense? So follow me here. I'll make this make sense. Back to this is a medicine ball. I can't squeeze that. That's a good thing, Vanessa. So, look at that. See? I knew it would. So this is the ball. Now, most of you can't see. I know I'm buffering in TikTok. I told you. They're trying to shut me down. Most of you can't see what this ball, how this ball is. It's called a high bounce ball. This ball is very hard. It is a very stiff ball, because the harder it is, the higher it'll bounce, and it gives that. I can tell you stuff about this ball, and the more I tell you about that ball, the more you begin to see that ball in its reality. You follow me? The more you begin to see the ball in its reality. I can tell you about this ball, how it does, it becomes reality. So here's what has to happen. Here's what has to happen. Okay? Here's what has to happen. What has to happen to you is you've got to be given an image. Then you have to be given a definition of that image. And then that image becomes your reality. I just made somebody's world just change. I just made somebody's world just change. You have to be given image, imagination. Then you have to be given the definition of that image. Then that image becomes reality. So when thoughts come into your head and those thoughts are not according to your reality, you kick those thoughts out. I was in a class one time and I was teaching the response of the emotional response that controls us. So I'm standing, and this is a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine. And I'm standing, and she's about here and about here. And I stood to the side so the people could see me. And so I told her, I said, I want you to slap me. So she reached up and did like this. And I said, so now, first level when I told her to slap me was the fact of what her mind could handle when it came to the instructions. What her mind could handle when it came to the instructions. I said, slap me. So she reached up and she just slapped me. Now, and I looked at the audience and I said, now, what she just did was showed you level 1 of changing your mind, which is don't change your mind. Number 1, write this down for me. Level 1 of changing your mind is don't change your mind. But when I asked her to do it, there were images that came to her mind that turned her into whatever she thought that was going on. There were images that went into her mind. Slap me. She started thinking about, I'm going to hurt him. All those things that stopped the instructions of what she was asked to do. Level 1 is don't change. Act like you change, but don't change. That's level 1. Okay? So I said, okay, stop holding back. Now, hear me now. Your first level is acknowledging that there's a change and not changing. So now I have to give her a definition. First it was slap. First it's ball. Then I give definitions to validate the reality. So I said to her, no, I need you to put some strength behind it and really slap me. Now she's paused because level 2 is dealing with the present reality in comparison to the established reality. Dealing with the present reality in comparison to the established reality. Did you get that for me, Leslie? Dealing with the present reality in comparison to the established reality. That's level 2. Dealing with the present reality in comparison to the established reality. So her present reality is do not hurt Uncle Dallas. Your established reality is he wants me to hit him harder. So now you're in the middle of battling these two realities because your mind is going, I don't want to hurt him. Because now you're at a different place because your reality is now changing. Got it? So she slapped me a little harder. They just shut me down on TikTok. They just shut my TikTok down. I told y'all. I said if I even everybody that is watching me, I told you if I even shared it, they shut me down. I told you. So second thing is she slaps me. Now she's dealt with the fact of her present reality in competition with established reality. So now we go to number 3. Number 3 is shock reality. Shock reality. What shock reality is where you go into and say, stop playing, do what I asked you to do. So now there is a pressure to take shock reality and go to established reality and break something. This is basically cold turkey. So that means that shock reality, Leslie, I hope you're writing this stuff down. Shock reality then takes us to a place where we shock the system to change the reality. So she hauls back and she's about to knock me out and she swings. I stop her. When I stop her, she says, why did you stop me? I said, because I gave you the information, and at the first time, I was never going to let you hit me. I just let you know that I wanted you to do it. So I knew the destination, you didn't. But because I gave you a definition, you then thought about what that definition meant, and you went through phase level 1, you went through level 2, and you went through level 3. And level 3 is what you broke. Guys, level 1 is going to fix it, level 2 is going to fix it, or level 3 is going to fix it. You determine, because you've got to break that thinking. Why? Because that's what's been happening to you over the years. So you must reverse engineer what they have engineered. I keep telling, and see, this is what really messes me up. I tell you guys this, and I'm going, okay, fix the situation. Fix the situation. Now that's just for women. That's for men as well. So level 1 is here, level 2 is here, level 3 is here. So she finally said, oh, see, you're not open to the change of your mind because your present reality is being compared to your established reality. So you've established a reality, and that reality is your righteousness. It's your way of doing things. And because that way of doing things seems to be an easy way and is doing well for you, you leave that way of doing things and you keep doing them your way, and nothing ever changes. You don't let anybody in to help you. You don't try. Why? Because that's your way of doing things. So what your established reality is it's an image. It's an imagination. It's not real. It's what you establish. It's an imagination. And not only is it an imagination, it's an imagination that what does it say? That exalts itself against the knowledge of God. It exalts itself against the knowledge of God. So you're stuck. TikTok just went down. So you're stuck. My TikTok just went down, ladies and gentlemen. It totally went down. You're stuck. Everything that I've taught, I have to deal with how you felt in the past and what people said and who was mad, who was not mad, who did it, who didn't do it. Everything that I deal with, it becomes, as a pastor, as a leader, as even a help, I have to deal with the ethics of what somebody has did. I have to deal with the ethics of what somebody did. If I tell everybody what we got about 50, where we had about 100, about 200, about 200 people. We have about 200 people. If I told all 200 people, I need you right now to go into your pull out a piece of paper, write me a letter. Let's not even do a write letter. If I tell everybody that I want you to go and I want you to write us a testimony to tell how good. Now this I've watched this happen. I want you to write a testimony on how good or how much this ministry or organization has helped you. I want you to go and write a testimony. Just write a testimony on how much this organization has helped you. But now, check this out. Check it out. Most of you will do it, but most of you will do it based on what you feel like you have in your power. You will never do it just to say that, because we want our established reality to be seen. So for me to call up, I'm going to use Vanessa because Vanessa Lewis is on here a lot. For me, if Vanessa said I needed a testimony, Vanessa would say, I would say, one of the people that has taught me the most about my life and has made me feel like I can make it in this world is Vanessa. Vanessa Lewis has really helped me in every area of my life. You guys need to listen to her. You guys need to follow her. You guys need to really get into what she's saying, because she is amazing. I don't know what I would have done without her. Do you know that of the people that are following me now, 1 to 2% of you would do that? The rest of us would say, oh yeah, Vanessa helped us, but she just confirmed what God said to me, because you don't want to seem like you don't have anything. Oh yeah, Vanessa helped me, but but you know what? I knew if God already told me that Vanessa was going to come into my life. Your established reality. Yeah, Vanessa helped me. Yeah, but there's always a contingency. You can't be a person of no reputation. You have to have reputation. You can't be a person of no reputation. There has to be reputation. You have to maintain this personal righteousness, or you feel like you've lost out. Yeah, Vanessa helped me, but we did a conference with a retreat, and this is really funny. We did our retreat here in out at the Marriott. We did our retreat at the Marriott, and I said I need testimonials. The people that did testimonials did a better one. The person, I don't know if she's here, the person that did the testimony before anybody could say was Joe and Angela. And Joe and Angela would say just exactly what I said. Uncle Dallas helped me. This was a good meeting. Why? Because Angela wants to go to a different place. But if I ask every one of you to do it, every one of you, like I said that, every one of you would compare yourself to what happened in your past to do what was asked of you. Talking to Kendra one day, and Kendra said something. I walk in, and y'all may not know this, but I am probably one of the sexiest men on that planet. I was talking to my wife yesterday. I'm like, how do you handle all of this sexy? Tell me, go ahead. I'm going to interview you. How do you handle the level of sexy that I am? I'm amazing. I am just really, really sexy. And so she's like laughing. She says, I don't know. You see that? I don't know. How do I handle it? How do I handle this level of sexy? And we're teasing. So my wife said something to me one time, and I did something really good or really nice or whatever it is. I don't remember. And when I did it, my wife came and she said these words to me. She said, I would tell you you did a good job, but I don't want you to get the big head. And I said to my wife, why? And it was the funniest. She gave me the funniest look. I said, what? She said, what? I said, why don't you want me to get the big head? She said, baby, I don't know. She said, I've said that for so long. I've said it for so long that it was just what we said. It's just what we say. It was her established reality. It was the established what she said. And from that point on, she goes, she did that. Your established reality. See, when you look at Philippians and he said he made himself of no reputation, your established reality that the reason that you're now in your mind is in the wrong place is because your mind is trying to tell you how to stay in that place, while your spirit is trying to tell you how to get out of that place. I was talking to somebody the other day and they were talking about, well, I want God to do this and I want God to do this, and they really are moving into things of God and I'm really proud of them. But in the same breath they go, you know what, my sister gets on my nerves, my auntie gets on my nerves, my cousin gets on my nerves, and they were in that same breath. Is that going to stop God moving in their life? No. TikTok is over, guys. I can't get back on TikTok. Is that going to stop God from moving in their life? No, it's not. What it's going to do is to put them in a position where it's going to be harder, because God may be using what you're afraid of to get you to do what he wants to get out of you, what he wants to get out of you. So the passage says, casting out imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing to captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, or the anointing. So he's saying, stop thinking what you know how to do and allow God to show you. Stop thinking you've got to be a part of this thing. You got to let everybody know that you were a part of this thing, and say it was God. If everybody that was on here, on this, of everybody that came to the retreat, did a testimonial about how good I did what I did, we would probably be at 1,000 followers right now. But we're still fighting our identity. Our minds are still stuck in the last person that hurt our feelings, or the last person that did something to us, or the last person that misused our authority. We're still stuck in those places. You're still stuck in those places. The last one was shock the system. I hope Leslie wrote all three of them down. I want to deal with them a little bit more. The last one was shock the system. Some of you need to shock the system. Anything you want to do to change your mind, change your movement, change your culture, change your narrative, you might want to shock the system. Well, how do I shock the system? I shock the system by going, I'm going to fast all day. I'm not eating anything. I'm not watching any TV. I'm going to shock the system. And your body is going to attack you like you've never seen an attack before. Today and tomorrow, I'm not going to eat anything. 2 days, you'll be all right. Drink water. Shock the system. Did you write all three of them down? Leslie, each of one, did you write 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, the 3 of them? Yeah, okay. Shock the system. Whatever you want, shock the system. The power to change your mind. Shock the system. Shock it. Somebody yells at you today, just simply go, you know what, God bless you. Well, I really needed that. What? You're stupid. I know, I really needed that. Shock the system. I know inside you're going, I am about to knock them so far smooth out. Boom, you're going down. You're about to get knocked. You ain't even been knocked out this hard before. Shock the system. Need financial? Go get some money and send some money. Shock the system. Put the system in a position where you're going, oh my God, shock the system. You want healing? Shock the system. Go get all the vegetable, whatever you see as healthy, go get those vegetables, and for the next week, eat nothing but vegetables. Shock the system. Leslie, I didn't need to know you missed number 2. You could have told me later, honey. You don't have to tell me now. So, shock the system. Ladies, check this out. Your husband is telling you all these things, and he's saying all the things that he's done wrong, and all the things that were in the house, and all the things that really getting on your nerves, and you are bubbling up inside of you. Shock the system. Go, baby, I appreciate you. Get up and hug him and say, thank you for telling me. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. Shock the system. Shock the system. Shock the system. Leslie says she's out. You out, Liz? Vanessa, you out. Shock the system. Shock the system. So when you shock the system, you're telling the system that I'm powerful enough to handle the things that are not my established reality. Shock the system. I knew they were. I told y'all. I said they're gonna take me off of Instagram. I mean TikTok. I told you that. I knew they were, because the moment I start speaking about truth, they're gonna kick me off, and it's okay. They kick me off. I'm fine. That's what's happening. See, I had to shock the system because I had to realize that the organization needed stuff. And what I have to do is now I need the stuff that the organization supplies, because we need to do more stuff. So everybody that can, I want you to type shock the system. Type it. I'm going to shock the system. You know where your system needs to be shocked. I don't know. Let's see what it says, because I keep trying to do it and it keeps coming up. What does it say? I am going to shock the system. Unable to go live. I am going to shock the system. Say it. Do it. Write it. Shock the system. What do you want? What do you want to see God do? What do you want to happen in your life? Shock the system. I am going to shock the system. I'm going to shock the system. I'm going to shock the system. Today, I'm going to concentrate on nothing but getting books completed and getting stuff done and getting that stuff into Instagram. I'm going to shock the system. Tawana, we're going to start working on getting Queen's glasses up and running. We're going to shock the system. Jessica and I are going to work. We're going to shock the system. Thank you, Malika. We're going to shock the system. I'm going to shock the system. We're going to work and get a product out today. Today. Everybody can. If finances are the shock of your system, shock the system. Send us some money. Yeah, money. Send us money. There you go. Some of your system being shocked right there. Send the organization money. Money, money, money. Send us some money. See if your system's shocked. Shock it. Send us money. We need some money. Shock the system, guys. $100, $200, $1,000. Send it. Send it to the Cash App. Shock the system. Don't be afraid. Shock the system. Stop being scared. Well, last time I had a pastor, so what? Don't care. Shock the system. Because if that thing is stopping you, then that means that something behind that is there for you. Some of you need to fast 3 days. Don't eat nothing. Just eat water or eat one meal a day. Shock the system. Shock it. Shock and awe. Shock the system. Where's Norma? Where's Norma? Norma, you somewhere there? Norma shocked the system. Norma got in her car, drove. She shocked the system. Proud of her. My daughter shocked the system. Got in the car, drove. Made it happen. Didn't know how she was going to get there. Didn't know how she was going to get back. Shocked the system. Shock the system. I shocked it today. Write it, pray it, expect it. Shock the system. Way to go, Margarita. Write it, pray it, expect it. Shock the system. I like that, Margarita. Right? So today there will be no question and answer on TikTok. There will be no question and answer on TikTok. Now, I have a question. Everybody that's on here, you're on Instagram and you're on YouTube and you're on Facebook. If you want to do from 11 to 12 a question and answer today, let me know. If you want to do a question and answer from 11 to 12 today, now Instagram, we can't do it on Instagram. I want you to let me know. I will do a Q&A. We will just do a Q&A. But I need to keep my YouTube so people can use them as teaching. I don't want them to be 6 and 7 hours long. So we come into that. So if that's something you want, I will set up a call and we can ask any question you want to ask. As long as you are respectful to the person that's asking the question. We will do a Zoom link or the Google link. We will do something. And from 11 to 12, we will answer questions today. Because I got to get Instagram. Normally I just do it through Instagram. If you want to do that, let me know. And I want you, Jessica, count how many people say yes. You got to shock the system. Why? When you shock the system, that's why it says cast down imagination. He said, don't push it to the side. Don't lay it to the side. Cast down imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. He said, cast it down. Shock the system. Take it, throw it out the window. What about, No. No, not going to happen. Not today. I know emotionally you want to say things, emotionally you want to do things. No, not today, not happening. I want no, not happening. It's not going to happen, not going to go on. No, not today. You stop it, nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. So far, 2 people. Nip it in the bud. All right? Stop it. Today, you're going to make this thing happen, and you're going to make it happen in a way that'll change your life. Shock the system. Now, again, I asked that. Only 2 people said yes, so we're not going to do that today. We're not going to do that today. So let me look on Instagram, because Instagram, they may say yes to. Okay? All right. Almost 3 people. 4 people. So, all right. 5 people. Now, we're going to do a video chat where we can ask questions. So, if you want to be a part of that, let me know right now, because we're about to get off here. It's already 11:01. We're about to get off here. And if you want to be a part of that, you need to let me know. So far, there's 4 people. We can do 5 people. I don't care. I don't care, but it's going to be quick. Don't just be on there to look at me. Be on there because you want to ask questions or you want questions answered. Okay. Okay, so for you that are on TikTok, I need you to text your email address to colon 704-612-2126. All right. If you want to be a part of the Q&A, it's only an hour. It's going to be only an hour. If you want to be a part of the Q&A, I need you to text your email address to 704-612-2126. Is that you, Jess? Jess, is that right, Jess? Is that right, Jess? Okay. All right. Jessica, where are you, Miss Jessica? Let me call you up. All right. Let me do this for Miss Jessica because Miss Jessica's video. Okay. All right, guys. I'm doing something crazy. You got everybody's name? I'm talking to Jessica now. That's you. You got everybody's name? They say yes? Okay. Well, doesn't matter. I'm about to get off right now anyway. But try to get everybody's names and email addresses. We're gonna do that Google thing. Yeah. All right. Thanks, babe. Bye. Okay. So, guys, I'm going. Jessica got your name and your numbers and all those kind of things. So, those of you that want to be there, if you're on Facebook, do the same thing. Just let us know. You're going to get a link in your email, and the link in the email will be question and answer. To basically say Q&A. Just go in on the Q&A, and I will see you then. Thank you very much. I pray that it has answered some questions, has fixed some things. This is not. We have an hour, so you can't come on, give me 5,000 testimonies. I need you to ask your questions. I'll answer the questions. We'll go from there. We'll have a different. Now, this is a test. This is a test. I'm testing this so that I can actually utilize it for next time I question and answer. So we won't be at TikTok, we won't be on Instagram. We will be basically just doing this every time we do a question and answer after we do this. And that question and answer link will be at the bottom. All right. I love you guys. Thank you very much. And be expecting that link right now. We're doing the link right now. And we will have a good time. Hi guys, those of you that are following us, thank you very much. I pray this information has really blessed you. My name is Uncle Dallas, Pastor Dallas, and I'm the founder of the Higher Standards organization, higherstandards.life. I love you guys. You've been just taken to a higher standard. Peace.